So mad at Robbie right now.
You need to apologize and explain why this is all your fault.
I need to apologize. This is all my fault. I unplugged my microphone and I unplugged the video camera when I am no longer streaming because I know that people can hack into that and I don't want all of my life being recorded. So there you go. Sorry about that.
Robbie is lucky that she hasn't been actually fired.
Matthew doesn't care if other people hear what I have to say in the middle of the day.
I do not indulge in paranoid fantasies. Yes. All right. So you missed all the wisdom.
Yes,
we had some wisdom.
I had so much wisdom for you guys.
Consider yourself lucky, my friends. Matthew promises not to fool you.
Yeah.
It is April Fool's Day. Here's the thing. I'm a kind-hearted, earnest, straightforward, straight-shooting person who thinks that the things you say should be true things, and that hiding behind a door to fool other people or coming up with ways to be prankstery on April Fools is mean, unnecessary, and not very nice.
Matthew does not like pranks. Yes.
When I became friends with Robbie 20 years ago, I had to get used to her family's way of doing things, which was not nice.
Lots of teasing.
Ugh.
I had to readjust. I had to recalibrate to be gentle and nice to me.
Everything I say is going to be true today. I'm not going to try to trick you, fool you, deceive you, or in any way be anything but straightforward.
You want to know an interesting fact?
I don't think you're going to give us a choice. Yes, all right.
In France, instead of, well, I don't know if it's instead of pranks, but one of the classic pranks that they do is they tape a fish to unsuspecting people's backs, like a paper cutout fish.
Okay, I was going to say, if it's
Not
an
a
actual
real
fish,
fish.
I would know because of the thrashing about and the fishy smell.
Yes. So it's called, and I forget what it's called.
That doesn't seem that mean. Like, I could live with having a fish on my back.
That's what I said. So
Yeah.
when the kids were smaller, we did do the fish joke trick. Yes.
All right.
Which was okay with Matthew.
Robbie is still...
But anything more beyond that...
No, I'm not going to fool you.
Like jumping out from behind.
Robbie might fool you, she might fool me. It's not going to come from me, my friends. All right, what is this? Matthew explains why we will... What does that say?
Oh, why there will be no theme song today.
There will be no theme song today because there's going to be another song today. And I don't want Drew's awesome theme song unfairly eclipsing the less majesticness of my song that I'm going to sing.
That is
It's not
poor.
a theme song.
That is poor.
No, it's like you wouldn't want to be here, sitting here next to your illustration hero, Carson Ellis.
If my illustration hero, Carson Ellis, were here, I would say, I will step aside. You draw the entire time.
Right.
This is your time.
Well, but here's
I love
the thing.
everything you do.
This is true.
And I will amplify it loudly so that the world can appreciate you as I do.
Drew's song is only 9 seconds long. So if we let his song be the show would be over already. So I am supplementing his excellent content with other content that is meant to admire his content and expand upon it. Matthew plays you a song. Friends, I have been making up songs the last couple of days. And I must say, I've let you down. So I decided to prepare a song in advance this time. I didn't spend much time on it. This is about 5 minutes worth of songwriting. But this is a song that is a public service announcement that I hope will get you in the mood for what you need to be thinking about these days. Are you ready, friends? Are you going to sing?
so.
Are you going to dance while I sing, Robbie?
Oh.
You guys know this song.
I hope this is a more upbeat song than last time.
This is to the music of If You're Happy and You Know It. So sing along with me. If you're... But it's not that. It's not. You don't know the words, Robbie.
Well, why? How can I sing
I want
along
them
with
to
you?
sing along with me because their words won't distract me. All right? Your words in my ear are going to distract me as I play a song that I'm not very comfortable
I
with
expect
yet.
everyone else to be dancing.
And singing. Are you ready? If you're dirty and you know it, wash your hands. Before you pick your nose, please wash your hands. If you pet a stinky poodle, then before you eat a noodle or a scrumptious snickerdoodle, wash your hands. If you're thirsty and you know it, or even if you're not, please drink some water. Water is so good for you, it flushes everything straight through. If you're 8 or 82, please drink some water. If you're dirty and you know it, wash your hands. Before you itch your eyebrow, wash your hands. If you want to feel your best, as the experts will attest, I have but one request, just wash your hands. Robbie, put the words up on the screen so everybody can sing along. I want you guys to sing with me. This is an important couple of messages. I want you to wash your hands and drink your water. Robbie, can you make it nice and
I'm
big on the
trying
screen?
I'm trying to. Hold on. Oh, Microsoft Word. Why did you have to do it in Microsoft Word?
No blaming of Microsoft
How
Word.
do you zoom in Microsoft
Oh,
Word?
my goodness. All right, there we go. All right. And are you going to scroll as we get from verse to verse?
No, I hate
expected
this.
Robbie to have a little more
There we
facility
go.
with the fundamental tools of the trade. All right, so they're still looking at us
I know.
instead of at the words.
I'm trying to fix it. You did not prepare me for this.
I expect you.
All
All right, here you go,
right.
friends. On your marks, get set. If you're dirty and you know it, wash your hands. Before you pick your nose, please wash your hands. If you pet a pinky poodle, then before you eat a noodle or a scrumptious snickerdoodle, wash your hands. If you're thirsty and you know it, drink some water.
Look, look, look.
Or even if you're not, please drink some water.
Look, look.
Water is so good for you, it flushes everything straight through. If you're 8 or 82, just drink some water.
Look, look, look.
I'm gonna riff for a second while Robbie. If you're dirty and you know it, wash your hands. Before you itch your eyebrow, wash your hands. But if you wanna leal your best, as the experts will attest, I have but one request: to wash your hands.
Bravo!
All right, there you go, friends.
Woo!
But you see, Robbie,
That's what happens
Why-
when Matthew practices writing a song.
Why-
That was really good.
you like my song, Robbie?
do.
Okay. Did it contain important truths?
It did.
Did it try to trick anybody?
Uh,
No, it did not try to trick
Tried
anybody.
to trick them into washing their hands.
Yes, that's not a trick. That's a mandate from
Mm-hmm.
the people who know best. All right, here we go. That's upside down. Here, let's look at this part of the agenda. Matthew plays you a song. Drink water.
Drink water.
we're-
Did you not bring the water?
We're ill prepared. Did you see how I got blamed for that? Usually
get the
I
water.
bring the water.
Go get the water.
No, today-
I'm going to say hi to the various people who are here. William
Okay.
is here.
All right, fair enough.
Conrad and Beckett. Lemon Turtle. Lemon Turtle, it turns out Lemon Turtle's uncle, granduncle, somebody, great uncle, lives in Chestertown. I wonder who that is. There's only so many people who live in Chestertown. It's a very small town, so we probably know them. Twain and Whippleland, hello guys. It's so nice to have you back. And I think that's everyone. Everybody, hi. Mr. Funny Pants, hi. All right. Oh, look, who's promoting prank ideas in the sidebar over here?
What's
Taping. There's some pranks being promoted in the
No,
sidebar.
no pranks.
But also, it's someone's birthday.
No fooling. That's
and
probably
so
just.
they are good with no jokes on the day.
Do you think someone is trying to fool us into thinking it is her birthday? It's possible. All right.
I don't know.
Get your glasses of water, friends. Drink your water. Let's do it together. Water solidarity, friends.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy April Fool's Day, Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. All right, let us.
Hi, Ella and Amy from Separate Computers, and Grant too. Hi, Grant.
You guys are all
We
on
went to
separate
school with
computers.
Grant.
You guys just don't like. Oh, they're practicing distancing within the home. All right, here we go. Robbie reads "Babies Ruin Everything." You guys, today we are going to read you a book that I literally thought about for years. For a long time, we were self-publishing books, and then at a certain point, we met Erin Stein, who is the person who is now the editor of many of our books.
I just
And
finished my water.
And she said, "Hey guys, I'd like to make a book with you. I like your self-published books. I liked working with you on this project that we worked on together. Let's make a book together." Erin and I spent a lot of time trying to make the book that we read to you the other day, The Imaginary Dragon. Erin and I
yeah.
tried to work
They
that,
spent a year working on it.
trying to turn it into a book that Macmillan could publish, but unfortunately, it never panned out. Fortunately, Erin is a determined person who said, "Matthew, I believe in you, even though we didn't make The Imaginary Dragon work. Let's see if we can make Babies Ruin Everything work." Because Babies Ruin Everything started, you guys, as a self-published book.
Yes.
All right, this is a book that Robbie and I made because we felt like it. I wrote it
So?
because I felt like it. Robbie illustrated it because she felt like it. Nobody told us we could. We just did it. What did you want to say, Robbie?
I just wanted to say, so these are just pieces of paper,
Yeah.
you know, that we printed out on our computer.
Yeah.
And we cut down, we trimmed out with a paper cutter.
Yeah.
And then we have a special little binding machine that does this wire binding and punches the holes for us.
It's very simple.
So
it's very simple.
It's very simple.
Something you
But
can do yourself.
This machine is like not the cheapest machine.
No, but
I
you
think
know
it
what?
was like
You-
a couple $100.
You can take it to Staples or Office
Yep.
Depot, and they
Office
will do it
Depot,
for
and
you.
They will bind it for you.
Yeah,
Yes,
for a couple
So
bucks.
It's pretty basic. So the idea, and also so this cover to make it stiff,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a folded over piece of paper of cardstock
Cardstock,
to make
yeah.
it a little bit double thick.
Yeah.
For the cover.
The
So this
point
it.
is-
and the other point is, we I illustrated as if it were... Because the story is told by the older sibling,
Right.
Who's getting a new baby brother.
Who's a little kid.
Yeah, who's a little kid. So I drew the pictures as if a little kid had drawn the pictures, which was actually a super fun project. The baby pees on every page.
Every page. Without
Aaron
fail.
Stein said, I like this book. You got to change a lot of stuff about it in order to sell it on the commercial market.
It was a book for adults. There were a lot of
Yes.
jokes that aren't really appropriate for kids. There's a spider that tries to eat the baby.
Wait, here's my favorite picture.
Okay, look what happens here, you guys. We can show you because you're tough. But this is a pony pooping on a little girl's head in someone's dream. It doesn't even actually happen. It's just the protagonist, the main character of the story, wishing that would happen to another kid she doesn't like very much, which isn't a kind gesture at all, which is why we wouldn't put it in our children's book that we made with Aaron Stein, who has judgment and taste and looks down upon such things out of professional reasonableness.
Yes.
So we are going to... So anyway, we made a version of that book that is this book that we published with a publishing company called Macmillan in New York City. And this was the very first picture book published by Aaron's new little publishing company inside of Macmillan called Imprint. So we were there at the very beginning, just as she was getting started. And she gave us our big
Imprint
break,
logo.
and we made a book with her. And we've made lots of other books with her. We've made
anyway.
Everywhere Wonder with Aaron. We've made all the Rimmel Coys books with Aaron. Our new picture book, Sunrise Summer, is edited by Aaron. So we made lots of books together. And art directed by the elegant, the powerful, the wise and talented Natalie Sousa, the art director. So, all
Why
right.
do we always say her name as if it's not just Natalie
It's
Sousa?
it's endearment. Am I going to read this? Are you handing this to me?
I think, yes, there's a little bit of trickiness in the slideshow.
All right, I'm going to read it. I haven't looked at these words in a while, my friends, but I will read it. So we have babies ruin everything.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Okay. Is my face going to go away? I'm
Your
not going
face is going to go away. Here we go. Get ready.
Fate worse than April 1st. All right. Babies ruin everything. This is a non-fiction piece, meaning it's a true story.
It is not a true story.
Okay. My baby brother was born today. I know because Dad woke me up in the middle of the night. He drove me to my grandma's house and told me I would be a big sister soon. I told him I didn't want to be a big sister, not even a little. But apparently, I don't get to vote. At Grandma's, the TV is too small, the milk tastes weird, and it's not okay to make yarn forts in the living room. While Mom and Dad and the baby have a party at the hospital, I'm forced to play checkers and eat cold oatmeal. Look at Grandma hunkering in the background over there.
Making some cold, gloopy oatmeal.
When Dad finally picks me up, he does not say hi to my hamster Leonard. Instead, he tells me 300 things I do not want to know, like how much the baby weighs, and how big his head is, and how cute he looks when he wrinkles his nose. Mom says I have to be nice to the baby, but it's very, very hard. He can't do a single useful thing. He can't stand on one foot. He can't catch a frisbee. And he can't whistle. Even Big Head Biggie Benny Hogarth can whistle, and he already lost his front teeth. Mom and Dad have a party for the baby with balloons and streamers and pointy hats. The baby doesn't say thank you for the party. He refuses to eat his cake. He won't even open his presents. Clearly, there is something wrong with this baby. I beg Mom to send him back, but she shakes her head and says to me, "He's just a baby after all." They put the baby in my room, even though he's very small. He has a lot of stuff. A picture of 3 kittens and a fuzzy pink walrus hangs where my types of deadly spiders poster used to be. I explain that my room is too small for me and Leonard and the baby, that maybe the baby should live in the kitchen. But Mom and Dad do not agree. The baby grows. He learns how to sit, but not very well. He learns how to eat, but he spills food all over the place. He learns how to pick them up, but then he throws them at me. Why am I the only one who sees the truth? We need a better baby. I want to go to the playground and swing by my ankles, but Mom says, the baby is taking a nap. I want to go to the zoo and see the monkeys eat bananas, but Dad says, the baby needs his bath. Instead, we watch boring shows where nothing ever happens. Instead, we go to the baby store and buy 10 gazillion diapers.
Oops.
Instead, we have to whisper while playing Zombie Attack. Leonard and I start a club for people who don't like babies. But Mom says I have to let the baby join. We start another club for people with moms who don't understand how clubs are supposed to work. The baby loses the keys to the car, so no one can drive me to Big Head Benny Hogarth's birthday party. I don't like Benny, of course, but I still want to go to his party. There will be ponies at the party and 3 kinds of ice cream in a piñata shaped like a cowboy. Excuse me, but can we please get a different baby? Try to remember that he doesn't know any better, says Mom. Try to remember that he's just a baby. But he's not just a baby. He is a monster, an abomination, a creature from the deep. He wrecks my stuff. He cries all night. He does not understand the importance of parties. It's completely clear, without a doubt, that babies ruin everything. Oh no. Oh, this is where it gets a little dark. Oh, it's the worst. It suddenly occurs to me that maybe this baby just needs a better sister. So I decide to try something new. I try being nice to the baby. But then Mom gets mad at me for being nice. Mom might not see it, but this baby has potential. He's related to me after all. So I decide to teach him everything I know. I teach him the planets and the months, and the difference between frogs and toads, and my favorite letters of the alphabet. I tell him about spaceships and volcanoes and icicles and eggplants and all the kinds of trucks I can remember. The baby is pretty darn smart. It's clear he knows I'm the greatest sister in the world. The baby and Leonard and I start a club for people who like marshmallows. The baby and I want to go to the zoo. Mom and Dad say we can't because it's raining. The baby and I don't care about the rain. We want to see the monkeys eat bananas. We want to see them now. There are 2 of us and 2 of them. Mom and Dad are no match for the baby and me. We go to the zoo, and it's raining. The monkeys refuse to eat their bananas. The baby cries and screams and ruins everything. But I don't mind. He's just a baby after all. The end. That is Babies Ruin Everything. I haven't read that in a while. That was fun, Robbie.
Yes.
All right.
I haven't seen those pictures in a while.
You know, we keep making new books, so we don't always go back and read the ones we've already finished. So thanks for giving us a chance to do that today, you guys. That was super fun. So anyway, that's a true story about what happens. Has it been true for you guys? Any baby stories
siblings?
you want to tell us about?
You know what?
If you have
Here's
to vent.
a story about 2 of our babies. 50% of our babies.
Half of our babies.
Half of our babies. Yeah. We should have learned after the first one. Got a gallon bottle of olive oil, which we store on a low shelf. Augie opened it up. This was before we knew he could open anything. He must have just learned on the spot to unscrew the cap of a gallon bottle of olive oil. Poured it all over the floor. Everything was so covered and greasy with olive oil, including August. But worst was the floor, which was super slippery for a long time. Even though we wiped it all up, it was very oily. And he did it, and then Jasper did it.
August also upended an entire box, a really, really large box of chai tea all over the floor. Which one of them did an entire roll of paper towels and I think mixed it up with the oil? It was...
I think that was Jasper, when Jasper did the oil.
All right, friends. Yeah. Just, so, just expect it.
Just
It's going to
expect it.
happen
Yes.
at some point.
You've been warned.
Yeah, you have. You know what about how it works
Yeah.
at this point. All right, Babes and Everything. Show the original version of Babes and Everything. We did that earlier. Show some other binding techniques. So we want to show you guys what's over there on the floor beside you. There are so many different ways at home with very simple tools to turn a stack of paper, words and pictures, or just words, or just pictures, or both together dancing in a
Into
festive
something
little
that is
tango,
like a book.
into something that is book-like.
Um,
So we go to a lot of festivals and shows where people who, like us, made their own books or still make their own books, come together to show what they've been making to other people, sell it to them, share ideas. So we're going to show you some things that we've picked
select
up.
Things that we picked
Now look
up.
at this.
So this is interesting. It's got a little band around it, right? And you pull the band off, and inside is a series of poems, letters to a lost boy. But it's all on one piece of paper that unfolds into this giant series of poems. And this is all on one side, so they didn't print on the back side. And this is the collection of poems
But
that you
look
read
what the
this
folds
way
do.
and this way.
The folds still make it look like there's pages.
Individual pages.
If it was just on a big piece of paper, it would be kind of
Yeah.
hard to know how to read it, and it wouldn't feel like a book. But here, it's kind of like those little books that we had you guys make out of a single piece of paper.
Yeah.
By folding, you can make something feel book-like.
And the interesting thing about this one that I thought was this little sleeve that they made that's so wonderful. You can see it's just a cut out chunk of a large envelope, right? So they just made this band out of a leftover
So they
piece of
didn't
envelope.
even need
They
any
didn't
glue.
even need any glue.
All they used was scissors.
And
Yeah.
that's how it's put
I'll put
together,
this back
right?
together while you
So-
show the next thing.
So this one is one. These people had a just black and white printing, but this is on a yellow piece of paper, right? So it looks kind of interesting. They made the cover and then they cut this little frame out to show the inside, the front page of the inside, and then it's not so much of a story. This is also interesting. They printed on some transparent. I don't know if you can see that this paper is transparent. Whoop. Can you see that?
Yeah, look, you can see the other page right through it. Hold it down. You can see that guy right through it. See? So it's transparent paper, and it gives you a different texture and a different effect.
And so this is just sort of an introduction of that section with the transparent paper, and then there's some more people. Anyway, so this is a really interesting
These were
one.
just made on a home printer.
And again, this is just, remember the Book of Wonder, if you guys put them together, this is just stapled together down the binding,
Yep.
down the middle.
Yep.
This one is a lovely one that these guys, so this is screen printed. It's like how you print t-shirts is a special technique of printing. But see how they've bound it with string? They drilled holes in here, and then they looped the string around through the holes to hold it together. And I love that they did printing on black paper, which you can do if you do screen printing, because
It's like paint
it's
sticking to it.
like
Yeah.
paint. It's like a layer of paint. So if you painted your own, you can also paint on your own black paper. So that's an interesting thing. So the inside pages are black and the outside is pink. That's how they designated the cover. So I thought that was an interesting one too.
One thing I want to point out here, you guys, is it would be impossible for a regular stapler to staple this thick of a stack of paper. We have a very
we
powerful
have a super
stapler
duper stapler.
that would be able to do this. But one of the nice things is here all you need to do, I guess you need a drill, but you need a way to poke holes in it. But I just think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think that that's really neat as a visual binding technique in addition to being something that lets you put thick pieces of paper together.
Now
Yeah.
this one,
Oh my goodness.
this is all handmade. So this is somebody who decided to put their book into a little cardboard envelope, and they stuck this ribbon on with some wax and made a wax seal. And then inside, it's actually just again, it's a transparent piece to show the cover, and then each of the pieces in here is an individual piece of paper. So it's like instead of binding it together, they just put it together with this inside of this little folio, and it's a collection of cards that sort of tells a story. So you don't even have to bind it together for it to be
And
a
it lives
book.
in that little box
And it lives in this little box
to make sure that it stays
so
together.
It's
Yeah.
so lovely. And these same people did this even more extraordinary box. Look, they have a velvet ribbon on the outside and a sticker, and they cut tails onto the ribbon.
We loved their stuff so much we
Yeah.
bought all of the things that they had.
We bought all of the things that they had. There's the box. And then inside they have a series of
Little booklets.
little booklets,
That
little matching booklets.
They're still just put together with staples. Okay? It's still
Yeah.
something very simple that you could do at home.
And the
but-
outside cover, this outside cover is just black construction paper, and they glued this picture on the front to make it look like a cover. But the other cool thing was, look here. They had this piece of plastic, and they made a little pocket to put
Their business
their
card.
business card in.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool stuff.
I mean, this takes a lot of attention to detail and a lot of
Yes.
precision, but you can make cool stuff if you want to, guys.
So this is another one
Mm-hmm.
that is. This was printed on one side, as this is called an accordion fold, because it's like you can go.
You
but
can't
the
actually
whole-
play a song on
The
it.
whole story is on there.
Yeah.
There's some. I don't know if there's some bad words in here or not, but I just wanted to show you that technique. So anyway, those are just enough. Oh, this one's cool because of the format. So this one's in a nice little. So instead of making this is a long book, and here it's just a piece of brown tape along the edge here to cover up the binding. It's just a little piece of tape, and it's a long, skinny book because he does comics, so his comics are all horizontal, and that's why he did it this way.
Oftentimes, when you're making your own books, you can do things that a traditional publishing company wouldn't do.
So
This is too weird of a dynamic.
It's too weird of a shape.
Of a dimension,
A
right.
traditional publishing company would send this to Barnes & Noble, and Barnes & Noble would say, you know what? We don't know how to put it on the bookshelf. It doesn't fit with other books. And they would send it back, and they'd say, we don't want to show this book. So, there you go.
They'd probably say it nicely, but your feelings would still
They
be
wouldn't
hurt.
say it nicely.
They might.
They're a big corporate giant.
No, they have people that work there, Robbie. People. We're almost out of time. Let's see what's left on the agenda.
Oh.
Okay. Answer questions and bow politely. The bowing politely will only take a moment
What
or two.
about the jokes?
That wasn't built into the agenda. I thought the jokes were a function of the second half of the story hour. Increasingly, jokes are migrating into the first half. And now, I want to point something out. I directed everybody to send me an email with their jokes.
Oh, and nobody did it.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
So I do not feel guilt. But although that was the second show, so maybe
Yeah,
these people...
yeah, these
if
people
you
didn't
have
hear that.
jokes, please send them to me in an email so I can work them into the agenda and make sure we have time for them.
Because sometimes we skip them, and then people are
And then
upset because we
people-
didn't. We didn't.
Not just
scroll
are people
through the-
upset, but we are upset. All right, friends. info@robbieandmatthew.com to send me your joke, to get it pre-approved, to get me... I'll practice
There's
saying
no
it.
pre-approving. You'll just say the joke.
I'm just saying. I'll put it on the agenda that way.
Yeah.
All right? Do we have time for one joke?
We have time for a couple jokes.
What?
kind of car do sheep drive?
Oh,
This is from Lamb and Turtle. We're always here first.
Oldsmobile.
Oh, that was a good
No.
guess. A Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. Wah, wah. All right, what else?
How do dinosaurs pay their bills?
Paleolithic schemes?
Yeah, that's good.
How?
With Tyrannosaurus checks.
Oh.
I thought
All
that was
right,
a good one.
I'm moving us forward because
That
we're
was a
already
good
late
one.
for the
Let's
next
Mr.
show.
Funny Pants.
We've
All
got
right.
to be ready for
Yes,
that.
sorry.
So go over to the other show. We're going to bow politely. Yes, thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry you had to listen to nothing for the first couple of
Yeah,
minutes,
sorry
but you
about
were
that.
protected from a bunch of nonsense.
Oh,
so,
I gave you such good advice. All right.
all right,
Goodbye.
we'll never know.
Goodbye.
Happy April Fool's Day. to
Goodbye.